Hey YouTube, welcome to the newest segment from Hohenheim Productions called A Note of Brilliance, where we take a look at terribly underrated movies or sometimes just awful movies, and we look at certain scenes or moments, and we examine them trying to find that note of brilliance. See how I put extra emphasis on the word note, like note? That's because in these segments, we'll be examining the brilliance that comes from the score or background music. That's right, specifically to the music. See? Note. It's a note, like a musical note of brilliance. In order for it to be in a movie that we will examine for a note of brilliance, it has to have a critic score of below 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, as opposed to the audience rating. Since it's an underrated film, we would expect that to be high with a lower critic score. So for our very first episode, we'll be taking a look at one of my all-time favorite stupid, raunchy comedies, Joe Dirt from 2001, which starred David Spade, as well as included some of my favorite Christopher Walken work.
No, man, it wasn't me.
That's Joe Dirt! Joe Dirt! Joe Dirt!
Joe Dirt! Joe Dirt! Joe Dirt! Joe Dirt! The movie has a whopping 11% on Rotten Tomatoes and 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
What's going on, man? Did you kick their asses?
And despite having a well-known cast, the heavy-handed perversion and raunchy humor didn't really age well. Nor do poop jokes crafted towards adults. Okay, so where is the scent of roses in this dung pile of a movie? As you can see, it's metaphorically and literally located in the janitorial section, where the director's now on cleanup duty after totally grossing us out. Following the first day of bullying and autobiographical narration of Joe's story, we've established that Joe Dirt is just as his last name suggests, Dirt, and he's treated that way by literally everyone he encounters in the movie except for the few people who make an impact on him during his journey.
I'm ringing this chamois as long as I can. You are exquisitely pathetic.
When the scene opens, Joe Dirt is pushing his broom down a tight and narrow hallway when the first notes of Dave Matthews' Crash Into Me chime over the scene, as it's revealed to us that Joe lives in the boiler room. The scene is a beautiful and meaningful change of pace in an otherwise cringe-worthy and raunchy viewing experience, as it's related to us that Joe is human and has feelings, loves, worries, doubts.
You got your ball, you got your chain tied to me, tie me up again. Who's got the claws in you, my friend? Into your heart, beat again.
The lyrics, "Who's got their claws in you, my friend," reflect how Joe's unceasing optimism, like a redneck Don Quixote, Joe's spirit basically answers back to no one.
Sweet like honey to my soul, sweet you rock and sweet you roll. Lost for you, I'm so lost for you. Oh, when you come crash into me.
And the lyrics, "Lost for you, I'm so lost for you," spell out Joe's journey as he feels literally lost in search of parents who intentionally abandoned him. The song is a classic for 90s rock enthusiasts and so pulls at nostalgia from the go. But the opening procession is used surprisingly well, as it changes the tone just long enough to humanize Joe for us. And so, to the use of Crash Into Me in Joe Dirt, we say...
Brilliant!
Thanks for watching. And as always, thank you to all of our wonderful patrons on Patreon. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We love interacting with our online community, and it helps keep us accountable and on time with videos. The more people watch and the more people like. In the comments below, feel free to suggest shite movies that you'd like us to hunt for that note of brilliance in, or specific scenes, and we'll break it down and see what we can do. Thanks again. Bye.